Morning, cruising family out there, abroad and close by. Yeah, this is your land sick and seasick person here. We were John C. Roseman, California. Morning, Em. How you doing? I hope you're recovering from that physical event, shall we call it? You're younger, you're stronger, you're in better physical shape than I am. I'm an overweight blob right now. I was not ready for such things like this. Morning to you too, Tony and Jenny B. How you guys doing? I hope things right now at home are okay. You guys are trying to clean up, and if the place is okay, I'm grateful. If it isn't, I'm sorry. To the Dawn Master up there in Canada, Dawn's Family Videos. What's going on, Mr. Terrace? How are we doing this morning? Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Don't ask me. I'm still there. It's 4:24 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. I'm not alive or awake here. It's September 5th, 2023. I'm on a political hunt and a tirade on my channels right now. I've been posting out my own damn dish of grief and misery and everything else that I've been going through, not to mention political stuff that I keep running into left and right, something that may or may not affect cruising. But what I had lit, what I had let known was a class project I'm doing still. Um, the project is revolving around potential, uh, not just advertising, but the things we got around our world. I'm in an English lit class. It's a critical thinking and literature, and my particular professor is not the standardized one. I mean, we're dealing with community college level, so yeah, creativity we're allowed, and she is very creative, my instructor. She's allowing us to go nuts on this one, on a graphic essay, as it will. Instead of the standard format, every student in every literature and every class subject we got putting up paperwork records, MLAs, APAs, APLs, God knows what else we got going on for formats. This is the graphic essay. This is like doing a PowerPoint presentation. We got to put the essay in a PowerPoint in different chunks, different sections, so we can explain it to the students and to the instructor what's going on. I picked the cruising industry because I thought I knew it a little bit better than anything else. I mean, I'd seen some of the other advertisers we got. How to advertise something that can attract a person, and then we get to the pros and cons at this point. Why is it this way? Why is it not this way or that way? What makes it so appealing and attractive? Boys and girls, may I present, for your insanity, the banana. Notice the brand. And this is the kind of thing that we would have to tear apart. I mean, it's something that we'd bring into the classroom last week on this. And we would have to make descriptions of what we found appealing and what was attractive and what was the thing that was causing us all this damn issue in the first place. But she also gave us something to work on. I think it's either due this week or next week, according to the paperwork. And I wanted to get started on the thing because I thought it was a very creative challenge. Next to the other class, which I've got, which is Math for Liberal Arts. Don't ask, I've got a crazy professor for this one here. He keeps thinking that critical thinking of philosophy, is equated to math and liberal arts, and they're basically the same thing right now. They're just, I don't know. I don't know how my campus is getting past this one here, guys. But it's still philosophy thinking. It's trying to think of one way or another way, and how does this apply towards everyday functionality? It doesn't. It's strictly academia. See, if you've already been college educated at this point over here or going through the college program and you happen to run into critical thinking and philosophy, run. If you happen to see math and for liberal arts, run. These guys will confuse the living crap out of you and say this is from math, and they'll talk about fractal math, and they'll talk about this. Oh my God, you're gonna run for the hills on this one, screaming and yelling, going over to your student services department and getting the W's at this point, put them into your records. Me, I'm in it for the insanity. I want to see if I can pass this damn thing finally, and I haven't done anything for this class much. except be driven crazy by it. But the other English, I'd rather be driven crazy because it's creativity. That makes me happy. So, getting into the project concerning about cruising. I picked on three companies: Disney, Carnival, and Princess. Now, I'm also drawing back on vintage information back in the 80s and 90s and how they were coming out and how attractive they were back then. These days, you can see the ads if you're lucky enough on streaming, if you're lucky enough on cable. Mostly it's on YouTube, on those flash commercials. So I hardly ever see the commercials concerning about cruising these days on the usual main media. But on social media, it's out there. We already got the established market for decades, so they don't have that much to worry about now, do they? Or do they, guys? So I have to pick it out what makes this stick and tick concerning about advertising. What's so attractive about cruising, and then I got to talk about what makes it attractive to cruising, and then the downfall for the damn thing. Yeah, I did say downfall because you guys have already been in the business long enough. You understand what the hell you need for this thing all the time, so it's second nature to you. But the kids I got right now in the classroom, not to mention the instructor who's never been on a cruise ship, I've been on it once, just once. I like to go back again because we're talking about barbs in the back and we're talking about hooked, line, and suckered. I could talk about keel hauling, dragged across the keel of the ship underneath the water and brought back up and do it all over again. Sometimes I feel cruising has done that to me. Anyway, so I have to make the project appealing at first. The pros. And then here comes the cons. And then I got to produce that information for the professor in the class and talk about that. And yes, or shall I say Miss Emma? Let me move to the side here. You happen to see any of your pals hanging about, lurking about, possibly right above a... Here, let me get past you. You happen to see something hanging in the background there? Or possibly a gray sweatshirt? A gray hoodie? And what's above it? Besides my grabber. Yeah, if you happen to look closely enough. Yeah, two of your companions there for the mercy ships. Yeah, I got him. I got them prominent. It's a way of suckering them into the cruising realm. Hook, line, and barbed. And then we throw them into the legality of it all in the United States. Mr. and Mrs. Barnett, may I kindly ask of you folks, besides the state laws that you have to deal with here, I'm going to be asking you, as agents of the cruising, I didn't say industry, I said cruising. What is legality? What is needed legally to traverse? What is needed for things for the cruising that you're about to partake in? Things that you have to have in order, both paperwork and in substance and everything else involving it. The reason why I keep going back to your channels left and right and why I keep researching left and right and why I had to get a link to the State Department of the United States, particularly in their cruising requirements or requisites. How about the needed necessary items, the paperwork, the documentation that we're going to need? And that I have to explain it to the students. Here's the barb, here's the hook. I try to make it a little bit more interesting in a thing. Add a little sound effect here and there, a little image, a little bit of haunting music. I gotta make this report interesting, They want a graphic. I'm going nuts on it. Hopefully, when I get this thing done, maybe I'll put it out there, but I got to throw in a hell of a lot of copyright restrictions into this thing. I got to remake it, throw the copyright material into it. I have to put works cited on the damn thing. I mean, when you're a collegiate, you have to put works cited in your reports. Wherever you're getting the information from, that's where you put it in. And you have to make sure that you're pointing that information to, which means my thing's not done yet, neither is my hard copy. Not a hard copy of the PowerPoint. I'm talking about hard copy of the essay itself I had to write before. I need a script for it, so standard form for it, get it done, and have it ready and have it chopped up into pieces and put them into nice little rounded boxes on there for people to understand. It's called having fun with it. It takes a lot of effort. Besides, get a little maniac about the damn thing too, especially with the sound effects I wanted to put in the thing. I can get creative sometimes. But anyway, I thought I'll let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully this thing will work. And if it does, on to the next project. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope right after graduation from college, I'm going to treat myself to a cruise. I'd like to treat myself to a cruise, a memorial cruise. If you guys had bothered in your busy times, or have actually found a little time or something, you'd probably catch one of my videos. Or probably bored the living crap out of you. But you always notice the background that I have. You always know that I'm sitting in certain positions here, and that I keep a certain piece of furniture always in plain sight, always representing something that is the basis for my channel. I do call it Diary of the Griever, named John Weaver. That's basically my channel. That's the title, which is me. I'll be talking more about this one a little bit later. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys, just to let you know what's going on. Have fun and be careful.